Shalom and welcome back to the Revolutionary Living YouTube channel. We are getting Tabernacles ready.
You ready to eat some dinner? It's first batch, about to fillet that thing.
This week we're taking it outside of the camper and going camping. Feast of Tabernacles is a biblical holiday where the children of Israel are commanded to dwell in booths or tents. So I'm going to show you our setup for our Feast of Tabernacles as well as my tips and tricks for a great Feast of Tabernacles. Brush my teeth. Tip number 1, guys, is to remember the commandments. And by that I mean, in all of these tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you, as many tips and tricks there are out there on Pinterest, as many shopping lists that there are out there from different people, remember that the only thing that you're required to do, to have, to get, to buy is to keep the commandments. So if you decide to not take advantage of any of these tips and tricks on this list, by all means, the only thing you have to do is dwell in booths, keep the feast with joyfulness and gladness, and adhere to the other commandments as related to the Feast of Tabernacles. But I will say that all of the tips and tricks I'm going to share with you are not only Feast of Tabernacles related, but they're also helpful for simply traveling or even RV living. You can use some of these tips, tricks, and gadgets for your RV camper life as well. With that being said, before I acquire any of my gadgets, I create my own shopping list. And for those of us who tabernacle in a group, we do have some shopping lists provided for us, but I create mine in a different manner. Number 1, I divide it by store. So typically my go-to store is Walmart, Amazon, and Dollar Tree. And for an example, I price check everything, and therefore I can make sure I'm getting the best deals possible. And I may find the best deal at Walmart for my tent, but I may find the best deal for my blow-up mattress, cot, sleeping bag, whichever you choose to use, on Amazon. And then for all my small items that are available at Dollar Tree, such as cleaning supplies, utensils, plasticware, I get all of that from Dollar Tree. And then once I divided it by store, I could take it to the next level and divide it by section. For example, at Walmart, I'm not going to put my tent and my groceries on the same part of the list. So once I hit a section, I pick up everything I need, move on, sweep the entire store, and I'm done. Now, as far as what to buy, guys, I do encourage you to take heed to the shopping lists that are provided for us for Tabernacles. So I'm not going to run through every single little thing that you need to go to Tabernacles, but instead I'm going to run through some of the most important things that makes your camping experience just a little bit better. Number 1, for setup, please, I beg of you, to get a pop-up tent, especially if you don't have any help setting it up, especially if you are a woman and you don't have a man with you. Having a pop-up tent is so much easier. Essentially, you lay it down, there's poles that's already running through it. Once you lift it up, it kind of pops into place. At most, you have to nail some of the stakes into the ground. With that being said, please get extra stakes as well as the best stakes. In Walmart, you have the regular metal stakes that are L-shaped. Depending on the type of ground that you're camping on, those may be fine, but they also have some that has an orange tip at the top. Those are stronger, give you more base to nail on or to use your mallet on, and they're sharper on the end. They pierce the tougher grounds. We went camping this year in an area that had gravel, so that gravel compactor is basically like cement. Our regular stakes did not work at all. In that tent, especially if you're in the South like we are, it can get very hot. Make sure you have a good fan. Period. A good fan. And not only just for in the tent, I personally bought a water fan. This is also available at Walmart. You fill up the bottom of it with water and you fill it up with 2 to 3 AA batteries, and you can spray it to kind of mist your face. It's not a heavy mist, and then the fan cools you down. That was a great buy for me as well. I have a full list for you. Make sure you bring the proper shoes. I appreciated having flip-flops or something to slip in, especially going in and out of the tent. I don't take my shoes inside as to keep out bugs and dirt inside of the tent. But also make sure you bring sneakers. But a third shoe that I realized a lot of people did not have was water shoes. Where we camped at, it was near the lake. There was a beach there, so we was in and out of from the sand to walking in the water, getting into the boats. I did some seashell hunting, and having my water shoes where I can get wet and dry very fast was very helpful. Now that is separate than my shower shoes. Make sure you bring your shower shoes as well if you're going to be using the shower facilities provided by the state park or wherever you decide to camp. Also, inside that tent, lifesaver was our fridge. Now, especially for Feast of Tabernacles, there are multiple Sabbaths within that 8 days that you camp. That is time where you can't buy or sell, i.e. if you need ice and yours melt, too bad, so sad, catch me after the Sabbath. For us, what saved us is not needing that ice all the time. We bought ice as a luxury for iced drinks, but as far as meats and foods that needed to be cold and needed not to be soaked in water, the fridge helped. Now, of course, if you want that authentic camping experience, by all means, don't have the fridge. But for us, it's really simplified things, especially for those of us who have additional duties to do while out camping. For instance, I work closely with the younger girls at Tabernacles. I didn't have as much free time to leave and go get ice consistently, so the fridge was a necessity for my Lord's house. In that fridge, be mindful of the one that you choose. You want one that's not going to pull too much voltage, but at the same time, if you have one of the ones that have a separate freezer and fridge section, that opens up your possibilities a lot more. Number one, you can keep more ice if you want to have that extra ice for drinks. Number two, you can freeze meats if you're going to be out there the full 8 days. And not even just meats. For me personally, I pre-cooked things like chili and pulled chicken, and then put them in freezer bags and froze them. And when I was ready to cook them, I would line my Crockpot. I bought Crockpot liners as not to have to wash too many dishes. Also available at Walmart. Put the chili inside of the Crockpot, and it'll cook back to its normal, consistency. Next, speaking of cooking, I already mentioned I brought my Crockpot. I personally have a 5-quart Crockpot, and that makes enough food for me and my husband to eat, usually 2 or more days, or to share, whatever the case may be. You can choose whatever one you want. As far as size, there's even Crockpots that have multiple sections. I have that one as well. For instance, if you wanted to do tacos and have your queso warming in one, your taco meat warming in another, and who knows, maybe want chicken in one, brisket in the next one. Those are very helpful for your options, serving parties, and having guests over as well. I also would encourage you to have some type of oven. Now, they do make convection style ovens where you can actually set the temperature, set it to broil, that kind of special stuff. My oven isn't that particular. It's more of a high, medium, low settings oven, but it still gets the job done. It is a 3-in-1 breakfast station made by Nostalgia. This I bought from Amazon. It has a coffee maker on the side. I also have seen it at Sam's Club, but that's not where I got mine. Coffee maker on the side. On the top is a skillet. And I've tested it to cook things like ground turkey, salmon. It does get hot enough to cook and finish those types of meats. On the inside is a toaster oven big enough for 4 pieces of toast. That's great. I did things like pastas and such while camping as well. And that will warm up or cook about 4 pieces of garlic toast, for example, for me as well. So the oven was really great. In addition to the oven, something I did not have, but someone else there had it, and I had the opportunity to use it, was a propane powered stovetop. Personally, I did not need the stovetop because I had a skillet, an oven, and a crock pot. And even if I wanted to have boiling water, I would typically just pour my water in the coffee maker part and just let it filter through just the water and get hot water. But if you want things to be a little faster than your crock pot or even hotter than what the coffee maker could make, the propane stove will be beneficial to you. For me, the crock pot was the better option because, once again, having things that I wanted to do for fun and otherwise outside the tent, when I wake up in the morning, make breakfast for our family, I go ahead and put lunch on so I don't have to be tied down to the tent for hours at a time, grilling, cooking, things of that such. So whenever either one of us was hungry, whenever one of us had a break, we can go ahead and stop by, and lunch was always ready on go just inside of the crock pot. Especially the one that I have, it is timed. It will go off, and it will either go completely off or it will go to warm. I set mine to keep warm, so when we come by hours apart throughout the day needing something to eat, we always had a warm meal ready to go. Now, while I do encourage you to bring a fridge if possible, that does not in any way negate the need for a cooler. Having the cooler will still free up some of the space for the stuff that don't have to be in the fridge. I use my cooler for things such as drinks, things you're constantly going into to get. I keep ice for just making regular drinks in there, and that is something I'll keep outside of the tent. Whereas my fridge, I personally had it plugged up inside of the tent. So if someone was visiting my campsite and wanted a soda or water, I don't have to unzip the entire tent, take my shoes off, go and get it. I keep the ice and drinks in the cooler outside of the tent. For your camping, especially if a group of you are going, you're going to spend a lot of time outside of your tent having fun. For that, please get good chairs. Those $5 to $8 chairs that you get from Family Dollar, Walmart, every time you get them, by the time the next year roll around and you're taking your camping trip again, you more than likely would need a new set of chairs. This year we opted out to get the Ozark Trail Director's Chair. Sturdy, is lightweight, very portable, having a handle made in. So go ahead and just invest into the things that you're going to continuously use. And it's useful outside of camping as well once you're going to other sporting events, etc. Another thing that you should make sure you bring is cleaning supplies. That's your dish soap, your sponges, your possibly bleach, your disinfectant spray. All the stuff you use in your home, in your kitchen, in your bathroom, just go ahead and bring it camping with you as well. And depending on the facilities available to you, you may want to create your own bathroom station nearby. You can create a hand washing station using buckets and soap, etc. You also can create your own shower station, and there are camping showers available to you on Amazon. Personally, we made ours using a pump action sprayer, like that you would use to spray the garden or add chemicals to and spray pesticides. You can switch out the nozzle to a shower sprayer nozzle, and you'll pump it for pressure and you can spray like a shower. There's also a such thing as a DIY toilet. It's a camping toilet. You can find the top for it and the bucket in the camping section, or even the bucket in the painting section in Walmart, Home Depot, etc. But that's very beneficial if you don't have a bathroom facility or if you're very far from it. And what do you do with these things? You don't want to get your actual tent wet. They do make pop-up tents to sit outside of your regular tent. Just big enough for a single person, maybe two people to stand up inside, but just something for a little privacy to have those facilities close to you. I also encourage you to get some type of portable charger or power source. You have the small ones for your pocket, or a larger, more powerful source like the Rockpal. Now, if you like us and have space issues, we have a 4-door sedan. Instead of renting a trailer or U-Haul, we use the ratchet tie-down system.
done.
Whew, now that we got that out of the way, we can move on to the fun part, the interior of the tent. And for me, I personally like to freshen up our tent, make it seem a little bit more welcoming and homely. Is that a word? I don't know. So for me, number one of my favorite things to incorporate into a tent, or anytime that I'm not just camping but traveling, is something for fragrance. I just about always bring incense. Of course, my go-to fragrances, frankincense and myrrh. But I do also bring candles. My favorite candles are Henry Bendel candles, and my favorite one specifically is Boho Beach, which is discontinued, but before it was, I bought up several of those, and I only unbox them and light them when we're traveling or doing something special. And then lastly, a great one is the diffuser. And the reason why I love my diffuser, especially for camping, is I don't have to have an open flame inside that very flammable tent. And the diffuser also fills up the tent very easily and quickly with whatever fragrance I would like. And I have options, having 4 to 6 oils in a small package, not taking up a lot of space, because you do need to be mindful of space when packing for Tabernacles. I always pick my comforter and sheet sets deliberately, something that's going to kind of bring some color and liven up the tent, make it seem a little bit more homey as well. That's the word. And I do carpets. Now, I am also always cost efficient. I do want it to be cute, but I don't want to overdo it. So for me, I have found some great carpets, probably at least 3 feet long, from 5 and below, which means they're $5 or below. I think they were actually 5. And what else? I do pictures and different decorative things I can hang inside of the tent. So my pictures, more than likely, either I'm going to print or make them myself, or I can find them at Dollar Tree. In this case, I did find some of my decorative items both at Dollar Tree and at 5 and below. Once you get your bedding, your flooring, a few things to hang and make it cute, don't forget some great lighting. For me personally, I did string lights both inside and outside the tent. The interior ones were colored. The exterior ones were white light for actual brightness. It does get dark out there camping. And last but not least, don't forget all your stuff for fun. We bring our bikes every year. The bikes are practical because the parks that we camp at are huge. It is a lot of us there, so in order to go and have fun and see different people, I take my bike a lot of the time. This year we opted to bring water guns with the intention to do a water gun fight with other people, just for a little fun and camaraderie amongst each other. And let's see what else. You got your Uno, you have your cards, you have multitude of options. Even just bringing cash. This particular park offered some excursions you can pay for, whether it was archery, shooting bows and arrows, renting canoes. So if you have it available, bring a little bit of cash, you can figure out some fun out there. Otherwise, you can have plenty of fun just fellowshipping and speaking to your brothers and sisters, friends, cousins, whoever you decide to take camping with you.
Yes.
You do. Told you.
What do you do a lot?
That laugh when I imitated her last night.
Yes.